A mirror is sitting in your budgie's cage right now. And your bird has been staring at it every single day. You probably thought that was normal. Maybe even sweet. But there is something happening behind that glass that most bird owners never find out until it is already too late. And what you are about to understand will change the way you see that tiny toy forever. Your budgie was never meant to be alone. That is not a preference. That is biology. In the wild, budgies exist inside flocks so large they darken the sky when they move. Hundreds of birds. Sometimes thousands. Every moment of their life is spent surrounded by sound, movement, warmth, and constant social feedback. Their nervous system was built inside that reality. It expects it. It depends on it. So when a single budgie sits inside a cage, something in their brain starts searching. Not randomly. Desperately. And the moment that mirror catches the light, that search is over. There is another bird. Right there. Responding to every move. Matching every sound. Tilting its head at exactly the same moment. To your budgie, this is not a reflection. This is the companion their nervous system has been screaming for since the day they were born. But here is what nobody tells you when you buy that mirror. The companion your bird just found is incapable of giving them anything real. And your budgie has no way to know that. Watch your bird at that mirror closely enough and you will start to see things that do not look like play anymore. The tapping. The soft chirping that changes pitch depending on how close they get. The way they press their beak against the glass and hold it there. These are not random behaviors. Every single one of them is a bonding gesture. In the budgie world, these are the movements that say I choose you. I trust you. You are my flock of one. And the mirror responds perfectly every single time. It taps back. It chirps back. It leans in at exactly the same angle. From inside your budgie's mind, this relationship is working better than any real relationship could. Because a real bird sometimes looks away. A real bird sometimes flies to the other side of the cage. A real bird has moods and moments of disinterest that require patience and adjustment. The mirror never does any of that. It is the perfect companion. Available, responsive, endlessly attentive. But this is where it becomes a problem. Because perfection in the wrong direction does not feel like safety. It feels like obsession. An obsession in a creature with a brain this small and a nervous system this sensitive does not stay contained to one corner of the cage. It spreads. Here is the behavior most people see but almost nobody correctly identifies. Regurgitation. Your budgie brings food up from their crop and deposits it onto the mirror surface. If you have seen this and thought it was strange, or maybe a little gross, you were missing what it actually means. Regurgitation directed at another bird is one of the most profound gestures in budgie social behavior. It is not sickness. It is devotion. It is the budgie equivalent of saying you matter more to me than my own hunger. When your bird does this to a mirror, they are not confused. They are deeply, genuinely bonded. They are giving the most intimate thing they have to offer. And the mirror takes it without ever giving anything back. That dynamic, giving everything, receiving nothing real, does not stay emotionally neutral over time. Your budgie's brain registers the offering. Registers the response. But somewhere beneath the surface, something is not closing. The loop that should complete when two birds truly bond stays permanently open. And an open loop in a creature wired for connection does not quietly resolve itself. It loops. And loops. And loops. Now here is the part that most owners never connect to the mirror at all. Male budgies in the grip of mirror obsession enter a prolonged hormonal state. Their brain reads the constant presence of what appears to be a receptive companion as a reproductive signal that never switches off. Hormones stay elevated. Stress systems remain activated. The body keeps preparing for something that never arrives. Over weeks and months, that unresolved biological tension begins to wear on organs that were never designed to sustain that kind of continuous load. Liver function. Kidney strain. Immune suppression. None of it visible from the outside. All of it accumulating quietly while your bird stares at their reflection. Female budgies face something different but equally serious. A hen who bonds with a mirror can begin laying eggs chronically. Her body interprets the relationship as a breeding signal and responds accordingly, producing egg after egg without a real mate, without a nest, without any of the conditions that would naturally regulate and eventually stop the cycle. Every egg she lays pulls calcium directly from her bones. And because the trigger, that mirror, never disappears, neither does the laying. If this is already happening in your cage, you are not watching your bird be productive. You are watching her body slowly deplete itself for a relationship that exists only on one side of the glass. But here is what makes this harder than it sounds. You cannot simply remove the mirror and expect your bird to reset overnight. Because by the time these behaviors are visible, the mirror has not just occupied your budgie. It has trained them. The bonding patterns, the regurgitation, the hormonal cycling, these have been rehearsed so many times in the wrong direction that your bird's brain has reorganized itself around them. Removing the mirror takes away the object. It does not immediately undo the wiring. So what actually works? And this is where most advice gets it wrong. The instinct most people follow is replacement. Take out the mirror, put in a different toy. Add a bell. Add a ladder. Give the bird something else to look at. And while enrichment matters, none of it addresses the core of what is happening. Your budgie is not bored. They are socially starving. And you cannot solve starvation with decoration. What a budgie needs is another budgie. Not as a suggestion. As a biological necessity. A real bird brings everything the mirror simulates but never delivers. Unpredictability. Genuine initiation. Physical contact that actually registers. Moments of conflict and repair that exercise your bird's social intelligence. The kind of dynamic, responsive relationship that keeps a small brain sharp and a nervous system regulated. If a second bird is genuinely not possible in your situation, then your presence has to do more work than you might realize. Not background presence. Not being in the same room while you scroll through your phone. Active, scheduled, direct engagement. Eye contact. Talking. Target training. Letting your budgie navigate toward you and rewarding that movement. These interactions do not replace another bird, but they do activate the same social circuitry that the mirror was hijacking. Foraging toys help. Rotating environments help. Puzzle feeders that require problem-solving redirect energy away from fixation and toward curiosity. But none of these work in isolation. They work as part of a relationship with you that your bird can actually feel. And if your bird is already deep in mirror-bonded behavior, the transition requires patience that most people underestimate. There will be days where they search the cage for the mirror. Days where they seem withdrawn or restless. That is not proof the mirror was good for them. That is withdrawal. And withdrawal eventually ends when something real steps in to replace what was false. Here is what that mirror was actually doing this whole time beneath everything you have seen in this script. It was answering a question your budgie did not know how to stop asking. The question every flock animal asks without language, without awareness, without any ability to reflect on it. Am I connected? Is there someone here? Does my presence register to another living thing? The mirror said yes. Every single time. Instantly. Perfectly. Without effort or cost or the beautiful friction of genuine relationship. And your bird believed it. Because they had no reason not to. Because nothing in their evolutionary history prepared them for an object that mimics connection without containing it. You were not cruel when you put that mirror in the cage. You were following the packaging. Following the display in the pet store. Following what looked like happiness from the outside because the behavior looked like engagement and engagement looked like joy. But now you know what the behavior actually meant. You know what the tapping was. What the regurgitation was. What the stillness in front of the glass was that you maybe mistook for contentment. Your budgie was not happy in front of that mirror. They were waiting. Reaching. Offering everything they had to something that could only give them back themselves. What they were always looking for was something that reaches back first. Something that notices them before they make a sound. Something warm and unpredictable and genuinely, imperfectly alive. They were looking for what a mirror can never be. And now that you know that, you are the only one who can give it to them.